Welcome to NTN Nightly. I am Janelle Norville. This edition's top stories. Prime Minister the Honorable Alan Chastanet to address the nation as COVID-19 forces the cancellation of the Saint Lucia Jazz. Critical issues facing the maritime sector are discussed here at an IMO meeting, and Saint Lucia takes major steps to manage hazardous waste. All that plus the latest in youth development and sports and the NTN Nouvelle of Creole. The government of Saint Lucia remains in responsive and planning mode to manage the impact of COVID-19. Consequently, Prime Minister the Honorable Alan Chastanet will be holding a number of meetings with stakeholder organizations on the weekend as he prepares to address the nation. Nicole MacDonald is the Senior Communications Officer.
There is a special meeting of the Cabinet of Ministers scheduled for Saturday, March 14th, 2020 to discuss and review policy options and considerations on how Saint Lucia is preparing to cope with COVID-19. On March 15th, the Prime Minister will meet with the private sector and union leaders to review and discuss measures by which the government and the private sector can position Saint Lucia to defend against the impact of COVID-19. On Monday, March 16th, there will be another meeting of the National Emergency Management Advisory Committee, NEMAC, to ensure all stakeholders are aware of the plans for Saint Lucia and what decisions will be made. It is only after this consultative process and planning that the Prime Minister will address the nation. The Prime Minister in that address will apprise the country of any decisions regarding the tightening or strengthening of our borders or major adjustments to the country's operations. The government continues to call on all citizens to refrain from sharing false information. A hotline will be operational by next week using the 311 numbers, where citizens will be able to get information and share information about COVID-19.
The government reiterates that the only authority who communicates in terms of Saint Lucia's response on public health matters is the Chief Medical Officer. The government further reiterates that the only authority to communicate any national response or any possible interruption in the normal management and daily operations of the country is the Honorable Prime Minister. Meanwhile, the Events Company of Saint Lucia and the Saint Lucia Tourism Authority have been closely monitoring the recent developments concerning the spread of COVID-19 and the global health crisis that this has created. With the official statement on March 11, 2020 by the World Health Organization, WHO, that declared the coronavirus outbreak a pandemic, both agencies convened a meeting to take a hard and realistic look at the risks versus the benefits of continuing with plans to host the Saint Lucia Jazz Festival, scheduled for the 7th to the 9th May 2020. The agencies have also had discussions with the Chief Medical Officer and the Ministry of Health so as to be guided by the expertise on the matter. There is a unanimous agreement that the priority has to be the health and safety of our people, and having weighed all considerations, the Events Company of Saint Lucia and the Saint Lucia Tourism Authority decided to cancel this year's Jazz Festival. The prevalence of the virus has led the Pan-American Health Organization, PAHO, to declare the novel coronavirus a pandemic. However, Director of PAHO, Dr. Carissa Etienne, says there ought not to be public panic over the declaration.
Pandemic refers to the geographic distribution of a disease and not to its severity. The designation acknowledges that there are now outbreaks of COVID-19 in multiple countries and multiple regions of the world. As of today, more than 118,000 cases have been confirmed in 114 countries, and more than 4,000 people have lost their lives worldwide. In the Americas, 14 countries and 4 French overseas territories have reported 836 confirmed cases and 27 deaths.
The Director of PAHO, Dr. Carissa Etienne. Here at home, the Department of Health and Wellness has been working with the Department of Education in sensitizing students and teachers on the coronavirus. In that vein, the Department of Health and Wellness has received some much-needed help from the private sector in the form of a donation of some 206 gallons of hand sanitizer for schools. Chief Medical Officer in the Department of Health and Wellness, Dr. Sharon Belmar George, highlighted the significance of the initiative.
First of all, the school is comprised of a lot of children in close contact with each other. So you could imagine in one classroom of 30-something children, one child coming down with it. It means the entire class will get it, and in a very short period. But the other point that we note, whereas our population at risk is our 75 and up, or when we look at the disease profile for Saint Lucia, persons with comorbid or concomitant diseases, that is persons with risk with other diseases, you become susceptible to developing severe disease. And the disease we've noted in other countries, about 14% develop severe disease. That is persons who may develop a pneumonia or need admission. Of these, 5% get critical, and about 2.5% of the entire group are those who generally pass away. So the mortality rate is not high. However, what we note in our population in Saint Lucia, when we look at the risk factors, for every home where we may have somebody that we're trying to protect, that is the group of elderly persons or persons with conditions, there's a school child. So our children may be at school and have very mild disease and be okay, but take it home. So it is extremely important for us to reduce the transmission within the schools, because and children are very loving and very huggy, and they come, and grandparents and parents and aunties. So we know children getting it very mild, they'll be okay. But the rest of the family who may have diabetes or heart disease or lung disease or kidney or liver disease, they will pose a risk to the rest of the population.
Owner and director of the Rodney Bay Medical Center, Dr. Tanya Destang-Bobre, expressed gratitude to the business entities that donated to the cause.
And I am so pleased that the community got together. And I know the tendency is to say they will do it and the government should be doing it. But I'm here to tell you, we need to stop that and reach across politics and race and gender and opinions, and know that Corona is coming and it's going to hit all of us, irregardless of everything that we think of. So if we don't work together, and if we don't put our hands together and put our hearts together, we're not going to get anywhere with this. So to have now, what I said, 206 gallons to be donated to the schools, it's mind-boggling to think that in 6 days we could have put that together. But we couldn't have done it without the response of the community. Some of the business houses immediately told me, I'll give you 50% of it, or I'll give you 10, I'll give you, some people gave me 20 immediately. I thought I was going to do this in 2 and 3 gallons at a time. So we were able to do this in, the majority of it was in under a week.
We're going to be focused, because there's one issue we have at hand now that we all have to come as a team. Parents, business places, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, everybody, we need to come together to work this out. Because what we need to understand is that when we close school, not just the schools that are affected, not just the students that are affected, not just the teachers who may decide they may stay home, or the ministry will tell them it is just the students who are out, you need to come back to the school. But in business places will be affected, because the parents now who would have sent their children to school and they would go to work, now they are wondering, but what can we do? Then you have a number of persons, the children are at home, they don't know what to do, and then they may call now that they cannot report to work. So therefore, when you understand this, how it affects the economy, I have to again thank the business places who have understood that what they are going to do there is also a benefit for them, because when we can prepare and protect the children, then everybody will benefit at the end. So again, on behalf of the Ministry of Education, we thank you very much.
That was District Education Officer Cyrus Sipal. Critical issues facing the maritime sector and the relevant conventions on the International Maritime Organization, IMO, were recently discussed here. The Saint Lucia Air and Seaports Authority hosted a two-day workshop organized in collaboration with the Ministry of Infrastructure, Ports, Energy and Labour and the IMO. We get the details in this report.
Senior maritime administrators participated in the Saint Lucia hosted workshop looking at regulations and conventions related to the region's maritime sector. The Minister for Infrastructure, Ports, Energy and Labour, Honourable Stephenson King, noted that the maritime sector played a critical role in trade across the region and the world, in particular the movement of people, goods and services.
What is most important is to ensure that in the architecture of the maritime industry, that the necessary legislation, the necessary protocols, the necessary practices, the standards that are required to ensure that there is seamless operations within the industry.
Some of your featured topics include the work of CARICOM in the context of maritime transport, the issues around the International Convention for the Control and Management of Ships' Ballast Water and Sediments, the hydrographic services and the work of women in the Caribbean Maritime Association, amongst others.
One of the overarching issues of the regional meeting was the marine environment. It was put into sharp focus by Christopher Alexander, the Director of Maritime Affairs at SLASPA.
The almost total dependency on the tourism and maritime industry has led to a dramatic rise in number of cruise ships arrival in our ports. However, we must be cognizant that with this expansion, we must also implement appropriate legislation to safeguard the marine environment with the requisite safety and security regime.
The International Maritime Organization IMO representative for Latin America and the Caribbean, Carlos Salgado, went on to reveal that the IMO was preparing to intensify its activities relating to climate change and its impact on the maritime sector.
The 2020 World Maritime Day theme, Sustainable Shipping for a Sustainable Planet, will provide an opportunity to highlight the contributions of shipping and the IMO towards achieving the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and a Sustainable Future.
This meeting in Saint Lucia laid the groundwork for strengthening the capacity of regional maritime administrators as they implement IMO conventions and influence policies and legislation that will help the sustainable development of regional economies. From the Government Information Service, Lisa Joseph reporting.
This is NTN Nightly. Ryan O'Brien is up next.
The 2020 Inter-District Primary School Track Championships comes to the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds on Tuesday, March 24, 2020. Come cheer as primary school students from across the island battle for athletic supremacy. Which district is going to be crowned champion? St. Lucians, make your way to the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds on Tuesday, March 24 to support St. Lucia's best primary school athletes as they race for the gold.
Welcome back. We join Ryan O'Brien for the latest happenings in youth development and sports.
Thanks, Janelle. I'm Ryan O'Brien with your update from the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports on the NTN Nightly News. The Ministry of Youth Development and Sports is continuing its preparations for the annual observance of Youth Month. A number of regular scheduled events are done for the observance and the recognition of the most outstanding youth of the country. Pouvoir Jeunesse will mark the official launch of Youth Month on April 3, 2020 at the Philip Marsley Ground in Vieux-Fort. There will be several guest performances for the official launch, which starts at 11 a.m. The Ministry of Youth Development and Sports will be away from its current location at the Shriki Building on Miku Street for the duration of 1 week. The ministry has been experiencing air quality issues and will be relocated to the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground from Monday, March 16 to Friday, March 20th, as the matter is being rectified. Meanwhile, officers from the ministry have been busily engaged in completing its school sports program with the second day of the Southern qualifiers of the Inter-Secondary Schools Athletic Competition in VF4. The semi-finals are set for Wednesday, March 18, 2020, with the finals set for Friday, March 20th, 2020 at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground. The Inter-District Primary Schools Athletics Championships will take place at the same venue on March 24th. And with that, we've come to the end of your update from the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports for today. I'm Ryan O'Brien.
Thanks, Ryan. Saint Lucia is taking major steps to manage hazardous waste. Anicia Antoine tells us more.
The Department of Sustainable Development, in collaboration with the Basel Convention Regional Center for the Caribbean, BCRCC, and the Saint Lucia Solid Waste Management Authority, hosted the Reduction of Emission Hazardous Waste Management Workshop. The objective of the workshop is to equip stakeholders across the various levels of the sector with the requisite skills to foster an enabling environment for overall improvement of waste management. Rachel Ramses, Project Execution Officer at the Basel Convention Regional Center for the Caribbean, noted that the activity forms part of an overarching project, the JEF 5558 project, which deals with the development and implementation of a management mechanism for POPs in the Caribbean.
We're currently executing in 8 Caribbean countries, and so POPs basically are a group of chemicals designated by the Stockholm Convention, and what we're doing is working through with each of the countries based on their potential sources and uses of POPs, and working with the countries on how they can better manage that situation surrounding those chemicals and the waste streams that we find the chemicals in.
Minister for Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development, Honorable Dr. Gail Rigobert, noted that the BCRC Caribbean continues to provide excellent support to Saint Lucia in addressing its obligations under the various multilateral investment environmental agreements that address chemicals and hazardous waste.
Saint Lucia is a signatory to the Basel Convention, a multilateral environmental agreement established to protect human health and the environment against the adverse effects of hazardous wastes. The convention, by design, works to reduce the movements of hazardous waste between nations and specifically to prevent the transfer of hazardous waste from developed to less developed countries. As a signatory to this convention, we take our responsibility very seriously.
Honorable Dr. Rigobert explained that the project addresses the improvement of waste management practices and management of landfills to reduce site contamination by POPs and unintentional POPs through capacity building.
It is expected that by the end of the program, the following would be achieved. 1. Awareness of the best international practices related to solid waste management and, in particular, hazardous waste management. 2. The most suitable solution for the country to increase the diversion rate of waste from the landfill in support of achieving a reduction in POPs and UPOPs emissions from the landfill will be defined. And 3, competencies of landfill operations staff with respect to operation and health and safety measures required will be enhanced.
The workshop commenced on February 25, 2020 and was delivered in 3 modules over a 4-day period. From the Government Information Service, I am Anicia Antoine reporting.
Stay with NTN Nightly. Up next, Primus Hutchinson is here with the NTN novel, A Creole.
Wash your hands. wash them before.
Eating or handling food or caring for infants, sick or elderly people.
Wash your hands, wash them after.
Using the toilet, touching raw meat, handling pets and livestock, playing outdoors, cleaning or handling waste and garbage.
Wash your hands, wash them often.
You are going right when you make a habit of washing your hands several times a day.
This message brought to you courtesy the Bureau of Health Education of the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Welcome back. We join Primus Hutchinson for the NTN Nouvelle, a Creole.
Monsieur Auteur Général, Monsieur Madame Département, qui nous responsabilité pour information au gouvernement Saint Lucia GIS. À ce depuis Télévision Nationale pays NTN, Capozato Nouvelle à Creole. Presato, Primus Hutchinson. Les pays CARICOM qui moins développés ont recevoir un soulagement pour produits qui sont sortis en ces pays là en bas article 164. L'initiative ça c'est pour augmenter la capacité de ces pays-là à CARICOM pour prendre l'avantage compétition en production spécifiquement de ces produits pays eux-mêmes. Article 164 a couvert 15 groupes de produits en bas 36 taxes. Côté ce produit là qui a trouvé protection pour un certain temps. Dès en ces produits là, ça c'est curry, à poudre et pasta, il y a une protection des taxes pour 5 années. L'autre produit comme farine France, différents boissons de l'eau sucrée, malt, la bière, stout, manger des animaux, blanc baleine, articles de sola pour chauffer de l'eau qui a servi à caille, petit, vernis, en parmi les autres. Le ministre là qui a responsabilité pour l'industrie et investissement, affaires les consommateurs, en parmi l'autre, on y va Bradley Felix, déclaré que c'est l'implémentation qui a présenté un des trois cassements. Il dit que l'année de 3 produits qui a trouvé affectés parce qu'il a découvert une grande quantité d'autres produits qui semblaient en bas même situation. Ça là. Selon Honorable Félix, article 164 supposé protéger n'importe produit l'autre ce pays à la même façon qu'il s'acquiert cette ici. Mais à manière ces produits ça là qui recevoir attention en bas règle la douane et qui fait ces taxes là, qui paraît qui yon l'autre 7 produits, particulièrement J, j'ai trouvé affecté. Ministre Félix remarque que ça caille ni pour trouver devant cabinet gouvernement pour arrêter à ces produits ça là, juste yon ça trouvé adressé à façon qui méritait. Selon le ministre des Affaires et Investissements, pendant ces business touristiques là, qui apportent plus d'argent pour un pays, pour les présents, yon pas ça ignorer faiblesse pour situation internationale. Secrétaire permanent ministre des Affaires Commerce et Investissement, Sophia Henry, déclaré qu'en résultat de cette situation, le gouvernement a fait plan pour diversifier en façon pour entoucher plus d'argent en pays et que les producteurs n'ont un grand rôle pour jouer en façon ça. Selon Henry, ces produits qui sont sortis cette ici, pas qu'à trouver affecté depuis available. Mais si c'est place business pays qui a importé même produit ça sorti en pays international, ces produits ça ni pour passer en bas ou à jouer taxe ça. Alors, si vous avez fait un appel pour les producteurs et mettre des business pour supporter les produits cette ici et que ça qui a sorti en l'autre pays en région parce que ces produits ça ni protection contre ces taxes là. Gain négociation pour le gouvernement avec National Workers Union a trouvé un finissement de négociation pour la période là, le 1er avril 2019 au 31 mars 2020. Ça a été fait jeudi le 3e en mois de mars l'année ici. Des gains là, placés CATO à son agrément pour la période là qui animation là. En bas agrément ça là, les travailleurs qui ont trouvé bénéfice en haussement salaire pour l'année 2019 pour 2020 3%, 2020 pour 2021 1% et 2021 pour 2022 2%. En bas agrément nouveau ça là, l'année c'est un changement pour conditions de travail, par exemple, la une augmentation pour payer une façon de soulagement pour travailler à peu près après entrer en retraite. National Workers Union qui a représenté les travailleurs qui ont trouvé plus bas à son branche salaire gouvernement pays là. Grand grec des relations industrielles pour National Workers, M. Lawrence Poyot, oui, monsieur, gagne négociation gouvernement pour signer agrément ça là. Il a ajouté qu'il y a plusieurs autres arrangements qui étaient supposés recevoir en considération, mais comme ils apprennent devant négociation, ça n'a pas été possible parce que le gouvernement a expliqué ces problèmes de finances. Pour eux, après qu'ils ont trouvé assurance par le département des services publics qui, s'il a une pièce de difficulté, pour faire ça, pour le département, ça agit et puis la situation vitement, effectivement, de façon qui est favorable. Chef pour gagner une négociation au gouvernement, Van Gill, était très plaît que la négociation entre deux parties a fini à la fin. Et a ajouté que, comme n'importe négociation, l'année pour nous, bailler plus près, et pour nous confiance qui ces bénéfices qui sont de la négociation, quand ça adressé à dans l'intérêt ces travailleurs, et pour capable pour ménager ces circonstances qui en bas agrément des parties. Et avouer que la négociation pas facile, mais il n'y a pas de perdre confiance pour trouver une bonne satisfaction à la fin. Premier ministre Saint Lucia, honorable Alain Chastanet, féliciter les personnalités sport Saint Lucia, ni yo qui en pays même et en l'autre pays. Premier ministre Chastanet fait félicitations ça là mardi le 10e en mois de mars durant la session du Parlement. En commencement, félicitations. Premier ministre là, premièrement, fait référence pour observer la célébration 41e anniversaire de l'indépendance Saint Lucia et déclarer que la célébration l'année là est encore plus meilleure. Il remercie toutes ces organisations et groupes qui jouent le rôle pour organiser ce spectacle-là. Et aussi remercier Saint Lucien pour gagner pour eux durant ces différents spectacles pour observer l'anniversaire de l'indépendance Saint Lucia. Premier ministre Chastanet continue et puis félicitations à degré d'excellence des performances les personnalités sport Saint Lucia ni en pays même et en l'autre pays. Et ajouter que ces performances-là c'est tellement haut degré qui montre valeur nécessité pour tuer faciliter export pour ouvrir chemin pour les autres pour développer un degré national et international. Le Premier ministre Chastanet déclaré que récemment, cette Lucie a voué un gain jeunesse qui a nagé au pays Pérou et performance est très haut tout bonnement. Côté yo gagné 6 médailles, 7 médailles à d'argent et qui ont trouvé. Vous trouvez en 5e place parmi 25 pays qui ont participé. Et cette Lucie trouvé 2e en toute compétition. Le Premier ministre a mentionné spécialement Julian Alfred qui a continué pour croiser point qui est déjà établi en compétition nationale et internationale. Le Premier ministre Chastanet aussi a félicité la première banque nationale pays en initiative pour conduire un 7 banques entre ces types de pays pour acheter banque des pays Canada. Et c'est comme ça. Nous avons trouvé cette nouvelle là. Nous remercions autant pour garder. Nous avons une invitation pour jouer. Puis encore, nous avons présenté ça. C'est si de conserver la vie. Nous avons présenté l'autre nouvelle à Priol. Je vous souhaite tout le monde une bonne finissement de semaine et changer pour une bonne précaution avec la maladie corona. Toujours laver la main avec savon et sanitizer avec pour une bonne précaution. Ça, c'est mon vie présenté au channel.
Merci Appeal Primus. Here's a look at what's happening to us weather-wise.
The skies are generally fair, becoming cloudy at times with a few showers. The Atlantic high pressure system will generate moderate to brisk easterly winds and influence rough sea conditions across the eastern Caribbean region during the next few days. Patches of low-level clouds moving with the wind flow will cause a brief shower period over the islands during the next 24 hours. Tides for Castries Harbour high at 5:27 p.m. and low at 11:03 p.m. Tides for Vieux Bay low at 12:17 p.m. and high at 6:34 p.m. The seas locally rough with waves and northeasterly swells 6 to 9 feet or 1.8 to 2.7 meters. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to exercise caution due to above normal seas. The sun will rise Thursday at 6:13 a.m.
That brings us to the end of NTN Nightly. Join us next time at 7 p.m. with a repeat at 7 a.m. You can also catch up with us anytime on the Saint Lucia Government Facebook page or YouTube channel. I am Janelle Norville.